W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of The Palestine Laboratory, How Israel Exports the Technology of Occupation Around the World, by Antony Loewenstein, narrated by Finlay Robertson. Introduction. South Africa's apartheid lasted 46 years. Israel's is at 72 and counting. Nathan Thrall, London Review of Books, 2021. When I first started reporting on Israel-Palestine in the early 2000s, it was the early days of the Internet, and mainstream media gatekeepers rarely allowed more critical voices against Israeli occupation to be heard. I grew up in a liberal Zionist home in Melbourne, Australia, where support for Israel wasn't a required religion, but certainly expected. My grandparents had fled Nazi Germany and Austria in 1939 and came to Australia as refugees. For them, although they weren't avid Zionists, it made sense to view Israel as a safe haven in case of future strife for the Jewish people. Despite this sentiment running through the Jewish community in most of the world, I soon became uncomfortable with both the explicit racism against Palestinians that I heard and knee-jerk support for all Israeli actions. It was like a cult, where opposing voices were condemned and cast out. I remember my Jewish friends during my teenage years who mouthed what they heard from their parents and rabbis. Few of them had been to Israel, let alone Palestine, but the dominant narrative was based around fear. Jews were constantly under attack, and Israel was the solution. No matter that Palestinians had to suffer to make Jews feel safe. This felt like a perverted lesson from the Holocaust. I'm now both an Australian and German citizen due to my family's escape from Europe before World War II. I'm an atheist Jew. By the time I visited the Middle East for the first time in 2005, I still held illusions about Israel and Palestine. I said I believed in a two-state solution and the right of Israel to exist as a Jewish state. I don't support either now. In the years after that initial trip, I reported from the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, documenting the increasing Israeli stranglehold in Palestine.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?